we need to talk. You're probably doing some things right now every single morning that are either making your whole day be like completely thrown off or are really affecting your productivity and what you can get done in the morning times. So, I want to talk to you today about 5 things that I think that everybody should stop doing every single morning. And they might be a little hard and maybe even a little controversial. Hey, howdy, hey, it is a good day to have a great day and go all in on your dreams. I'm your girl, Jessica Stansberry. If you are brand new here and you are looking for someone who's going to kick you in the booty and tell you to do the things you were made to do, I'm her. So hit subscribe because I don't want you to miss any other videos with me here on my channel every single week. Now, like I say, I think a large majority of the humans in the world are doing some things every single morning that are throwing their entire days off and making it so they're not as productive and not as able to go after the dreams and the goals and the things they're trying to do. So whether your dream and your goal is work related, you've got a business, you want to start a business, you have these things, or it's life related where you are wanting to run a marathon or you want to compete in a bodybuilding competition or whatever it is, whatever you are looking at as far as what your dreams and goals are, if you're doing these things every morning, they are in some way impacting your ability to get there. They're roadblocks, if you will. All right. Are we ready to get into it? Because the first one's going to hurt. And I know it is because I have done it and sometimes still do it. But I also know that I shouldn't. That is checking social media. There's so many reasons why this is a bad thing to do in the morning. First and foremost, you are literally waking up. Your brain has just woken up from 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep. And the first thing you're doing is putting that awful blue light that we all have the blue light blocking glasses to protect against in our faces. Our brains weren't built to do that. When God created the heavens and the earth, he wasn't like, here's heavens, here's earth, here's the people, and here's their cell phones. So that was not how our brains were developed to do the things in the morning. Our eyeballs can't do it. So that's problem number 1 with checking social first thing in the morning. But problem number 2, and maybe even more important than that, is that it takes us off of our game. So if you are in some way creating a morning routine where you're starting your day better and you're starting your day more proactive and productive, this is going to take you out of that because you're going to see a comment on Instagram you need to go comment on, or a DM that gets you, feeling like you need to answer it, or something on Facebook that happened that you feel like you need to do. And instead of doing that, because we all have to do that, especially if you're like running a business or whatever, we all have to check our social media at some point. But instead of being intentional about it and checking it when you have time, you are now doing it and making it kind of tell you what to do. You know that saying, like, you go to Target and Target, you don't know what you're getting at Target, but Target's going to tell you what you're getting. It's kind of what social media does. You go on social media and you don't know why you're going on social media, but it's about to tell you what you're about to do with the next hour. So not only are those 2 things really bad, but if you really take it another level, we're kind of starting our day with bad news. There's always something sad or bad or not great on social media, whether it's the news and some sad story, or your cousin, sister's friend has the flu, or a client of yours has DM'd you on Instagram to tell you how horrible they feel about this thing you sent them. It's starting our day with negativity. Always. There's not really a good way around that. And even if you don't see it, I promise if you'll pay attention, you'll see it. So don't check your social. There's so many reasons. Your eyeballs won't like it, your brain won't like it, and your calendar and productivity won't like it. All right? Very similar to that, we're also not going to check our email. So second thing to stop doing is checking your email. I firmly believe that email should be checked at the end of the day. I get a lot of emails. My team gets a lot of emails, and we now have systems and processes in place where I only get the emails in my folder or in my inbox that are something that I have to respond to or look at. But still yet, even though I've pared down the amount of emails and what I'm getting in my inbox, I'm still getting a lot of emails. So if I open those every single morning and start to go through those, then all my to-dos I had that I wanted to get done are being pushed back. Whereas if I'll do the to-dos first, I'm going to feel really good about things. I'm going to feel really productive. The things that needed to get done will get done. And then I can get to email. I don't believe that there's probably anything ever in our inboxes that are emergencies. And so if it can't wait until later in the day, then you need to have a conversation with the person who's sending it, or you need to set better boundaries around what you do and why emails affect you so much. So stop checking your emails first thing in the morning. The third thing you need to stop doing every single morning is starting the morning without a plan. I can be not so great at this. I can definitely wake up early and be like, yes, I woke up early, and then not have a plan for what I'm doing with that extra time I got in my day. But it always is a problem. So if you are starting your morning and you do not have a plan, that is a bad thing. Plan it out the night before. Okay, I'm going to wake up at 5:30. From 5:30 to 6, I'm just going to wake up. I've said that before in emails. That's what I do. I drink my hot lemon water and I wake up because I am not a morning person. And then from 6 to 6:30, I'm going to maybe exercise. And from 6:30 to 7, I'm going to do whatever. But if I don't have that plan, it will send my whole day kind of in a spiral, because then I feel like I wasted that extra hour I got up early, if that makes sense. So if you are really into a morning routine or whatever, which I've definitely talked about on this channel before, then do your morning routine and let that be your plan. It's not something you have to have like from 7 to 7:07, I'm going to do this or whatever. Just make sure you have a broad plan for what's going on that day. So stop going into the mornings without a plan for what the mornings should look like. All right, fourth thing, and this is something that is thankfully not very hard for me to do. Like I don't do this. The way I'm phrasing this might be weird, but basically, because these are things you need to stop doing every morning, let me just say the tip first, and then I'll tell you what I'm saying. So you need to stop eating a crappy breakfast. So years and years ago now, I got on a health kick, and I'm still fairly on it, even though I am not where I want to be with my weight or whatever. Years and years ago, though, I learned what were healthy foods, what were not healthy foods, what was fueling my body correctly, what was not fueling my body correctly. And the one thing, I may eat 10 cookies at night, but the one thing that has definitely stuck is eating a really healthy breakfast. There's a couple of reasons for this. One is that you're fueling your body with the things that it needs to actually be productive throughout the day and maintain your energy level. I'm sitting here batch recording videos, and I would not have that energy if I had, one, either skipped breakfast, or two, kind of had like crappy sugar-filled cereal or whatever this morning. I can promise that, and I know that from like my own experience. Like I say, I'm not perfect with my eating or my diet plan or whatever, but I can tell you for sure that eating a healthy breakfast is so, so key. So if you are not eating healthy, if you are eating crappy foods, if you are skipping breakfast, I need you to stop doing that right now. Eat a healthy breakfast, whatever that looks like for you. Don't load your mornings with sugar. Don't skip the meal. You got to have energy to do the things that you are wanting to do. All right, y'all. Number 5 is about to get real up in here because I am preaching to myself, and that is to stop hitting snooze. I actually had to go, so in my iPhone, which is what I use for my alarm sometimes, well, an additional alarm because it's so hard for me to get up, so I use 2 alarms, but in my iPhone, I can set it to where it does not have a snooze button. I have to turn it off. And in my brain, I'm like, well, shoot, I just turned it off, and now if I go back to sleep, I'm not going to wake up. I will then get up. So if you will make a promise to yourself in some way or another to not hit snooze, whether it's turning off the ability to hit snooze, whether it is putting your alarm in another room so that when you get up, you consciously say, I'm not hitting snooze, whether it is using a different kind of alarm clock that wakes you up in a different way and doesn't allow you to hit snooze. Like, for instance, the daylight alarm clock that I talked about on my Wake Up Early video, I still use that very much so almost every single day, and I can hit snooze on the noise, But one, it's kind of hard to hit snooze. You have to like double tap it with 2 fingers in just the right spot. So it's kind of like I have to have my wits about me. I can't just be like, ugh. I have to have my wits about me a little more to hit snooze, but also it doesn't snooze the light. So even though I snooze the sound, it doesn't snooze the light. And so a lot of times I will actually snooze it, but I get up because I was snoozing it so it wouldn't wake my husband up. So find a way to stop hitting snooze. However that works for you, I can promise you, you will feel better. I don't know all the sleep studies. I love a good sleep study. I like reading about them, but I don't know them all enough to like quote one or tell you. But I know for a fact we do not get good sleep in an 8-minute period in that snooze, right? Like we are not getting REM sleep in 8 minutes in between our snooze buttons. So make sure that you are waking up refreshed by not hitting that snooze button. All right, 5 things you need to stop doing every single morning to have a better, more productive morning. Now, if you have any other tips for establishing a morning routine and doing things or not doing things in the morning that have really helped you, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. And like I said before, it's a good day to have a great day and to go all in on the things you're dreaming about doing. So stop holding yourself back, hit subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.